Zorn's Dungeon is the first role-playing game to be played through the YouTube live stream chat. You're not just watching the game anymore, your character is involved in the action. Spawn a level 0 character, throw them into the blood cage, and watch them fight for their lives. Death is permanent, but survivors can reach level 1 for even greater adventure as the game develops. Here's how to play in under 5 minutes. Step 1. Spawn your character. To play, just type bang spawn, that's ! spawn, in the YouTube live stream chat anytime Zorn's Dungeon is being played live. The game instantly rolls a level 0 character with 3d6 stats straight down the line. There's also a 1 in 6 chance of rolling a random demi-human. Your starting HP determines your destiny. Low health means wizards and thieves, while high health means you get to be a fighter, paladin, or barbarian. Every character's linked to your YouTube username, so you know which is yours, and we know who's playing. Each character also gets a unique ID or dog tag. You can also see which characters belong to rare professions or have particularly exceptional stats. Remember, level 0 is brutal, so spawn multiple characters to have backups ready. But be aware there's a 30-second global cooldown on the bang spawn command. If you don't get in on your first try, just try again. The chatbot will confirm what characters are created in the live stream chat. Step 2. The draft. Newly spawned characters enter the tavern. The only way out for a level 0 character is to be drafted into a 12-person party for the blood cage. When it's time to assemble a party, the system drafts in this priority. 1. Super VIPs, which the Game Master reserves for special guests or situations. 2. VIPs. Channel members get free VIP status once a month, and anyone can send in super chats to make one of their characters a VIP. Super chats with a specific dog tag attached guarantee that character will receive VIP status. Otherwise, the system will choose one of your characters at random. Gifting memberships also gets you and the person gifted a VIP character. 3. Active chatters. If you've commented in the live stream chat within the last hour, you get priority right behind VIPs. So if you're watching, participate in the chat to make it more likely that your character will get in on the fight. 4. The general pool. If there are still draft spaces left, then they're open to anyone else in the tavern. Yes, even if you're offline, your tavern characters are at risk and may be drafted. Note that the draft prioritizes having as many different players as possible in the party, so you usually won't have 2 of your own characters in the same cage. Step 3. Into the blood cage. Once the party forms, the doors open, monsters spawn, and the auto battle begins. You get to sit back and watch the bloody drama unfold. As the cage takes damage and the blood bar fills, Zorn might intervene. At 33% health loss, he might order his goblin archers to loose a volley into the heroes, or later drop a gore strider behind your lines if you're having too easy a time. And for the crunch lovers, combat, movement, spells, and all other rules are handled by the Hacked Edge game system, our custom rule set based on old school essentials. Step 4. Triage and leveling. When the dust settles, surviving PCs are hauled up to the winch room. If a character was knocked unconscious, they only survive if they have teammates still standing at the end. Otherwise, the monsters put them to the sword. Survivors earn a blood drop next to their name to indicate they lived through the ordeal. Once in the winch room, goblin medics attempt to heal individual wounds, restoring 1 HP per wound per success. Then the fairy checks HP. Anyone with enough HP to reach level 1 gets promoted, receives their class, and gets a free, full restoration of HP and spells. This is the only free magical healing in the game. Level 1 characters also earn the right to have a name. Type bang name dog tag new name in the chat to name them, or rename them on zornsdungeon.com. Step 5. Rest and return. Finally, characters are sorted to their next location. First, all dead characters are sent to the graveyard. It's their final resting place. Those characters who are still wounded are sent to the infirmary. There, wounds and spells heal in real time according to the Hacked Edge rules, meaning severe injuries may take several actual 24-hour days to recover. To keep playing, bang spawn more characters to have them ready to go. Healthy characters are sent to the stable to safely rest. They have earned their reprieve. Want to send a character back into the action and perhaps earn a second blood drop? Just move the character you want from the stable back to the tavern. You can do this at zornsdungeon.com or by typing bang T for tavern plus the dog tag of the character you want to move in the chat. You can check rosters, locations, and all of our leaderboards, tracking boss kills, maximum damage, highest XP, anytime at zornsdungeon.com/tavern. Alright, that's all you need to know to get playing Zorn's Dungeon on the live stream. Get your bang spawn ready, and we'll see you in the cage. Alright, good evening, everyone. Good evening. I got the emails off, so I believe that, well, if anyone if anyone reads the emails, which I don't think they do. I don't really think they do, but nonetheless, I tried to send out an email to everybody about this live stream. That's about 5,000 people who are on the email list, but it just seems rather useless because, I mean, if I email 5,000 people and tell them that we are doing the show, I would think we would have more than like the 20 that we normally have. So I just don't get it. But okay, so, whatever. So I emailed them. I let everybody know, all of the 5,000 people on the email list know that we are playing tonight. And here we go. I mean, it's time. It's time regardless. Let me turn this this down. Because it seems like, yes, there we go. What's going on here? Okay. All right. There we go. All right. So there we go. So welcome everybody to Zorn's Dungeon. So we had a little bit of a kerfluffle last night because there were some people in the chat who really wanted to change the initiative system and thought that they really needed to know the exact order that their opponents would be acting in. And that would make a better game. And maybe they were right. Maybe they were right. After last night, as you guys have been watching, I am personally very hesitant to give you a report in advance of exactly what order your opponents will be fighting in. Because to me, and this is just to me personally, but to me personally, that doesn't seem to represent melee combat very well. I understand that some people really, really want, who have been in the chat, really, really want to have a report before they are able to act about exactly what order all of their opponents will act in so that they can make a decision. I have been against this because that seems like too much 5th edition to me. And to me, the 5th edition initiative system is absolutely the worst initiative system that I have ever played at with the table. So admittedly, I am very loath to put that kind of initiative system into this game. Because I don't really feel that when you start combat, you should know exactly what order all of your opponents and all of your allies will be attacking in. I realize that other people have a different opinion. Other people have a different opinion on that. But one of the situations that it brought up, and I believe Sable brought this up, is like, I can't do this because there's too much latency in the game. There's too much latency in the game. So those are two separate issues. There's the way we handle initiative, and then there's a latency in the game. And latency, so let me understand initiative. Let me understand latency in this game. Latency is the time between, which I have been actually tracking. Latency is the time between when you issue an order to your character and when the system picks that up. Now, you know that you may not act until later. Okay. But latency is definitely a thing we have to consider. Latency is the time between when you issue an order to your character in the chat and when the system picked that up. Okay, so here's what I've done. And I've been working on that because I stayed up until 2 o'clock in the morning working on this because I realized that people had a problem with this last night. And I want to get this right. Okay, so people had a problem with latency. Okay, they said, no, we need to understand the order in which everybody's coming because there's so much latency in this game. Okay, I am, like I said, very, very hesitant because I don't like this game system. I don't like the 5e game system where you know exactly what order everybody is attacking in. But, and I also like, okay, let me back up. So right now we have a system where you do not know in which turn you're going to be acting. Okay, because you are drawn with cards on your initiative system. Now, if you are higher decks, you get higher in the deck and whatever, but you are drawn by a deck with your initiative system, right? Some people did not like that because they said because the latency between my issuing an order and when the order is accepted by the system is too long. So if the order if the latency of the orders is too long, I have to know when I'm going to go. And I am very against giving you discrete information about when your opponents are going to attack because that's not something that you should have when you're in melee. So, in order to do that, okay, I am with you. Then reduce latency. So I was up until about 2 o'clock in the morning last night working on reducing latency in this game, and I have a way to do it. I have a way to do it. Okay. Because, okay, so we previously, we're testing this tonight. We're testing this tonight. We're testing it tonight. This is the first time we're going to test it live. But previously, we had been working on Nightbot receiving commands. And the reason we had been working on Nightbot receiving commands is because Nightbot was reliable. Okay. And we needed reliability when we were issuing combat commands. Unfortunately, when Nightbot is receiving commands, I don't have any control about how fast Nightbot polls the chat. Okay. So that's kind of a trade-off. Nightbot is very reliable, but I didn't have control over how fast Nightbot polls commands. And that's what you guys were saying, that my latency is too low. I will issue a command and it will be too long before my command is executed. Well, Nightbot was very reliable because we had issues, if you've been following this game for the past 40 episodes, we had an issue when my bot, which is trying to reach into the YouTube API, would time out. It polled the YouTube API too much, and so YouTube was like, "No, stop! You can't poll anymore." So YouTube would stop my bot from being able to question the chat. And then it would cut me off, and that would influence the game. And that was very, very bad. That was very, very bad. Okay. So we said that Nightbot, who happens to have probably a special arrangement with YouTube or whatever, must be the one to handle combat commands because Nightbot is reliable. If my bot goes down because I've exceeded my API credits, right, for that, I don't want that to influence the game, so Nightbot must handle those commands. That got us reliability. But what it didn't get us was speed. So Nightbot is reliable, but I don't have control over how fast Nightbot is. So that's what people were seeing. They're like, "Hey, man, I issue an order." Like I looked at the latency log last night, because for the past about week, when people have brought up that issues like we have a latency issue, I started to try to track latency issues. So when I did a latency issue track last night, it was about 12 seconds. It was about 12 seconds between the time when you issued an order to your character and when the system received that order. So there's latency, there's lag of about 12 seconds. Now, on average, a turn is 19 seconds. So that's still inside one turn. That was still inside one turn. But people seemed to be upset last night that, like, if you're going to do this random initiative the way that you were doing the initiative, latency is way too low or way too high. Okay.
So I was up until about 2 o'clock last morning. Last morning, I was like, okay. Some people had said, okay, so there was another way that we could do this, and we're going to get to fighting in just a moment. But there's another way we could do this. Some people said, like, no, I have to know when everybody is going in combat. If you knew the initiative order in advance, the only way that I would allow that to happen is, which is a very old school way to do that as well, that we're going to give like a 60-second window. So like all of a sudden, okay, it's round 2, everybody. Here is the initiative order for round 2. You have 60 seconds to issue your order. Okay. And if you do not issue an order to your character within that window, then well, tough luck. Personally, I don't like that. Now, that could work. I mean, it could totally work. Because that's also a very old school way of doing things. Because, like with the caller, like there used to be a caller in old school role playing games that you'd be like, okay, everybody look at the combat map right now, say exactly what you want your character to do, write that up, give it to the caller, and then we'll roll initiative, and I will execute, and the game master will execute orders exactly the way the caller, it gives them to me. I don't like that for this game personally, because I like that you are able to respond as situations change in the game. Like, you're like, hey, first I'm going to go bang fight, or I'm going to go bang AOA or whatever. And then there's situations that change on the battlefield. And then I'm like, no, I want you to be able to issue another order to change your commands because of the way that the battlefield has changed. I like that. I personally, maybe I am wrong, but I personally think it would hurt the game if you could only issue commands to your character within like a certain window before the game starts. That would actually be going, or before the turn starts, That would be going back, I feel like, the way this game originally was, where you didn't have control over your characters. You could issue commands to your characters, and then everybody would stop. They would have no influence on the game for the next 2 minutes while the turn plays out. I really like it that you guys can enter another command, override an order, because you're seeing the game change. So if you're watching the game and and the situations are changing, you can send in a new order. I really like that. Okay, but people have said, but the latency is too high to allow that. Okay, so last night, what I did was I completely restructured the initiative, the way the initiative goes. So initiative is still, well, okay. I restructured the way that commands are accepted. We are still doing initiative the way that we have always done initiative, but I have found a way. Like, if the problem is latency, I have found a way to get latency under 2 seconds. Okay. I have found a way to get latency under 2 seconds. I didn't think this was possible before. I am constantly pushing this. I'm not a technology person, but I'm constantly pushing technology here. Last night, about 2 o'clock in the morning, I found a way to get latency from 12 seconds that you were dealing with last night to 2 seconds. Okay. All right. So that allows us to have combat the way at least I want it. So there's randomization within the turn, but expediency to commands. And I am so excited about this. Okay. So here's what was happening. So previously, and I think I may have talked about this earlier in a moment ago, but previously, we had to make sure that Nightbot received combat commands. And that was because my bot that went to the YouTube API was unreliable. Okay. And it is, because I only receive, like, personally, when I hook up to YouTube's API, I'm a small guy, small channel, whatever. I only get so many credits to query the YouTube API. And this was like 3 weeks ago or a month ago, 4 weeks ago. I don't know, whatever it was. I had set it up, and there was a problem that I was being extremely inefficient with my usage of the YouTube API. So I was expending my credits, and so my bot would crash. Well, if you're sending commands, you can't afford the bot to crash. So so we said we can't send the combat commands through my bot because it's unreliable. We need to send that through Nightbot, which is reliable. But the problem is that Nightbot, I don't have any control over how often it pulls the chat. Okay, so that's the problem. I can be very reliable through Nightbot, but it's going to be slow. Or I can be faster, or it might collapse the bot, right? Okay, so I was like dealing with that back and forth. One of the major things that I was dealing with, which I didn't know when I originally created this game. I mean, like this is all new to me. I did not know this when I created this game. A very expensive thing for me to do on the YouTube API is to write into the chat. Okay, to write something into the chat. So like the receipt, when you go bang AOA, okay, Nightbot, as it was like yesterday, Nightbot will reply to you with a receipt that says, I received your command. But it might be like last night, the latency was about 12 seconds. Okay. The latency was about 12 seconds between your issuing the command to Nightbot receiving that command, issuing you the receipt, and putting it in the system. Now what I have is a dual system. Okay, I'm very happy about this. There's a dual system. My bot is monitoring the chat because we have new technology. This came in about 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago. We have new technology where YouTube can push all of the commands to me. So instead of having to query the chat, every 3 seconds, 5 seconds, 8 seconds, whatever it is, YouTube, there's new technology that we have now that YouTube put out where YouTube will push the chat to me. So I have a bot who is watching the chat being pushed. Okay. And so now my bot should be, this is a test. This tonight. We are still trying. This is a test tonight, but this is the way that it should work. We're testing it tonight. We will see. We're going to work on this. But now, when my bot is watching the chat being pushed in real time, I should be able to see that you have sent a command. Okay. And then it's very expensive. I didn't know this. It's very, very expensive for me to write back to the chat through the API. That's very expensive. So if you send in a chat and then my bot is monitoring the push, if I write back to the API, got it, you are now on AOA, it's actually so expensive we won't be able to play this game. So my bot does not give you a receipt. My bot will not give you a receipt. My bot will acknowledge the command and put it into the system. Nightbot is also going to be monitoring this, and we are deduping commands that come through. So when we receive a command, my bot will be looking for your commands, and then also Nightbot will be looking for your commands. That's duplication. So if one of them goes down, we can still, we have actually, duplication, redundancy to make sure that your commands go through. So if my bot goes down, Nightbot is still there. It will be a bit slower, but you will still get your command through. But that on my system level, we are deduplicating so that my system will go, I got an AOA from ProudStar, message 4972, and I'm executing it. And then 10 seconds later, Nightbot says, I also have ProudStar going AOA 10972 or whatever it was. Oh, that's the same order. Ignore it. But then Nightbot will reply with a receipt. So Nightbot's going to be behind on the actual time that you send. Okay. So when you get you're still going to get a receipt in the chat, but it may be 10 to 12 seconds behind the actual time when your order is accepted. Does that make sense? I might not have made sense with that. So my bot will be monitoring it as fast as it can which could be as fast as 2 seconds to actually enter your command into the system, but Nightbot may be behind as much as 10 to 12 or 15 seconds in giving you a receipt in the chat. So you should, so that to me, this is the best of both worlds, because I hate, just like, yeah, you could tell that from last night. I hate the Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition initiative system, and I don't want to incorporate that into here. But people were telling me that, okay, it's difficult for us to play this way because of the latency, and I think I solved the latency. I think I solved it. Okay, so I think I solved it. Okay, so this is still a test. This is still a test tonight. So consider this a test. But, you know, I put in different, about a week ago, I put in a bunch of different metrics and telemetry into my end of game report to measure the latency. And when we were doing it through Nightbot, because I don't control how often Nightbot polls, there was a lot of bounce. I mean, there was a lot of bounce in how often Nightbot would receive your commands. It was anywhere between 6 and 15 seconds on any given night. And that's a lot of bounce. Sometimes it could have been 6 seconds. Sometimes it could have been 15 seconds. But I think we can get it under 2 seconds. All right. So that's what we're doing now. That's what we got now. And I'm extremely happy about it. So, all right, let me bring up, where's all my stuff here? Hang on just 1 second. Maybe I didn't actually start it. Hang on. Let me start my servers. Maybe I got so excited I didn't even start my servers. Hang on. Now we're going. Okay, so now we are starting. Oh, there we go. Yeah, now I see Zorn's dungeon bot is online. I'm sorry. I got so excited I didn't even start my I got so excited about my bot, I didn't even start it. Okay, hang on. So, here we go. Hang on. Make sure to dismiss the character stuck in the winch room. Let me look right now. You're right. There are characters stuck in the winch room. Thank you, Sable. All right. They are dismissed. They have been dismissed. All right. Brianna says a dual system, meaning you put a different way to Nightbot. No, just meaning that I have Nightbot working as it always has, but I have a faster way to do it by monitoring the chat. I have a faster way to do it. So there's redundancy in it. If for some reason something fails, we have redundancy. So I'm really excited about this because I like the way that we do initiative, but if the problem was latency, we should now be under 2 seconds. Welcome, everybody. So welcome, everybody. I am so glad you're here. Thank you so much for playing the game. I am so happy about that. I love playing this game, and I want it to be right. But I am, yes, as you can tell from last night, I'm very passionate about some of the ways that we do things. All right, so let's see here. Oh, we have a membership gift. Let's do the membership gift. Membership gift right here. Charles Fever has gifted a membership. He has received a Warrior of the Geekverse membership. No, he gave the membership to Vulgar Unicorn. Okay, well, thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. So here we go. I mean, are we ready now? I think we are now. We are in the tavern now. We have 12 of 25 likes. Please do. We have 17 people watching the chat. If we get to 25 likes, please go ahead and hit the like button, because then we will get everybody +1 temporary HP, and everybody needs hit points. Okay. So, Charles Charles, you are new to the tavern. You're going to fight tonight. We have 10 people who have fought zero times tonight. Zero, Almighty, Echo, Mrs. Dave, Brent. No, 11 now. Vulgar Unicorn, Dave, Maurice Ferminio, the Tabletop Scholar, Brianna Reynolds, Stable Phoenix, Courtney. All right, so there we go. Let's go ahead and let's fight. Let's fight. It's time. I've talked way too much. Okay, super VIPs first. There are no super VIPs. I'm going to reach out, by the way, to my friend Brian Colin of gifted membership. We just had Sable Phoenix gift a membership to Mauricio. Thank you very much, Sable. Sable just gifted a membership to Mauricio. He gets 4 active heroes at once and 1 draft priority a month. So now everybody gets 2 heroes who are active. Mauricio now has 4 because of Sable's gift. Thank you. Anybody who's new to the cage new to the cage goes next. I was just saying that I have been working, and I think it's about time to reach out to some friends of mine to have some guest hosts. So I'm reaching out to Brian soon. All right, so present but not yet fought, and present means you have spoken within the last 35 minutes. And then if you are present and you have fought, you will, if you have fought twice, you'll be behind everyone who has fought once. And if you have fought once, you'll be behind everyone who's fought 0 times and so forth. Let's draft the party. Who is fighting right now? Charles, a threadbare porter, level 0. Echo, Sir Weeble of Wobble, level 1 gnome, you are in. 0 Almighty, a cautious torchbearer, level 0. Mauricio, a cornered prodigals heir, level 0, who happens to be a rare character right there. A rare character. So what is that? Yes, 1 in every 354 spawns. Dave Lutitia, who has been through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different blood cages. Nice job, Dave. Lutitia is here. Level 1 elf. Mrs. Dave, a disowned cultist, level 0. A tabletop scholar, a splintered cultist, level 0. Sable Phoenix, a floundering porter. Courtney, rarely nicely is here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Brent, a tattered merchant's guard, is here, level 0. A vulgar unicorn, a cobbled town watchman, you are here. Brianna Reynolds, a reluctant lector. This is a relatively green party right here. 9 level 0 characters, 3 level 1 characters. We have an average level of 0.3. We will fight in 1 minute and 5 seconds. If you want to put in a super chat to buff your character, the first $1.99 is +2 temporary hit points. The next $1.99 is +1 damage. The next $1.99 is +2 saving throws. But Echo, Sir Weeble of Wobble, you got a 74% chance of making it through. Lutitia has a 71% chance of making it through. But the vulgar unicorn's cobbled town watchman, the vulgar unicorn, has only a 26% chance of survival for poor odds. Not too bad. Everybody, 34, 43, 45. A little bit lower than coin flip, or a little bit lower. Okay, vulgar unicorn, cobbled town watchman. If you play better, Mrs. Dave goes in for $1.99. Thank you very much, Mrs. Dave. Goes to Lutitia for $1.99 for +2 temporary hit points. Okay, thank you very much. All right, we are now down to 0, so it is time to fight. Let's go attack. Let's fight. It's time. Okay, combat commands. If you are here, you do not have to issue a combat command to your character. You do not have to do what just happened. You do not have to issue a combat command to your character. You will fight balanced offense, defense, and movement on your own. But if you go AOA, bang AOA, that is that will give you increased offensive power, but you will not be able to dodge. You will not be able to dodge or use your shield. That's right. If you go AOD, you will not move or attack, but you will have increased defensive power. If you go Bang M, that is Bang Move. Bang Move must be accompanied by coordinates to tell you where you want to move to. Bang Run, Bang Run means get the hell out of there. Bang Run means get out of there. If you add coordinates to that, you will move to a particular location. If you go Bang Fight, that will cancels all previous orders. You will attack again with balanced offense, defense, and movement. But if you go Bang Fight space coordinates, you will attack the creature at those coordinates. So there we go. All right. I think that was right. It wasn't up, but there we go. Let's start the fight. Cave Imp, a tattered merchant's guard. Brent takes damage from the Cave Imp, but 1 stamina spent and nothing else. It is 12 to 12 and only 1 imp. Only 12 to 12 and only, not 1 imp. Deflected. Cave Imp comes up to 0. Almighty Cautious Torchbearer deflected. Nice job. I meant 12 to 12 and only 1 ape, not 1 imp. I get caught up with imp. Floundering Porter weaves a blessing around rarely nicely, gives rarely nicely 1 temporary hit point. Kobold Crawler targets Prodigal's heir. This is Mauricio. Looking at Mauricio, throws into a cornered Prodigal's heir, 1 point of damage, minor piercing wound. Sir Weeble of Wobble goes AOA. Sir Weeble of Wobble going AOA, targeting a Cave Imp up here. Comes up here, casts Poison Spray at the Cave Imp. 3 points of damage to Cave Imp. The Cave Imp lets out a final snarl and falls. Nice job, Sir Weeble of Wobble. Cave Imp targets a cornered Prodigal's heir. Evaded. Nice job, Mauricio. Mauricio, you have evaded the Cave Imp's attack. Nice job. No damage there. Lutetia now goes toward Cave Imp. Lutetia coming toward Cave Imp, roasted for 4 points of damage, puts down Cave Imp number 3. Goblin Runt targets Torchbearer. Goblin Runt comes into Torchbearer, 1 point of damage, minor piercing wound. And that's it. Still at 2 of 3. Nice job. Goblin now targets a tattered merchant's guard. You can see up there on the screen, tattered merchant's guard catches a strike squarely on the shield, but it holds 1 of 2. If you're seeing on the screen, you may see a receipt on the screen for your order before it comes through on chat. And I was trying to let people know that if you send a command, there we go. Now, I don't want it up on the Jumbotron, so I'm going to change that. But if you're looking at the command up on screen, you may see the receipt of a command on screen up at the top right before you see it in the chat. That's because my bot may be looking for that faster. Cautious Torchbearer, 0 Almighty. No damage. You have deflected that. Nice job. Cobbled Town Watchman, Vulgar Unicorn goes to Goblin. Goblin, 4 points of damage, moderate piercing wound. Cobbled Town Watchman puts it down. Tattered Merchant's Guard targets Goblin. Tattered Merchant's Guard comes up to Goblin number 2, a minor piercing wound. I didn't want the receipt to only show up on the screen because I want you to be able to scroll back through the chat to see if your command was accepted. The receipt in the chat will be slower, but I want it to be there so that you can see it if you want to scroll back. On the screen, it will be faster, but obviously you can't scroll through the screen. If that makes sense. Ratkin Mongrel targets a Cobbled Town Watchman. Cobbled Town Watchman is coming into Ratkin Mongrel. 2 points of damage. Oh my God! Vulgar Unicorn, I am so sorry. Long Spear. With a Long Spear, the Vulgar Unicorn has folded. I am sorry. We were 11 PCs to 8 monsters. Gremlin targets cornered prodigals air. Gremlin comes in. 2 points of damage, a minor slashing wound. Kobold Crawler moving toward Brent. Tattered Merchant's Guard, I believe, going to take a dart from the Kobold. 1 point of damage, that is all. Okay, Kobold Crawler targets a cornered prodigal heir. This is Mauricio. Kobold Crawler number 3 goes into Mauricio. 1 point of damage to a cornered prodigal heir. A Cautious Torchbearer, 0 Almighty, Goblin Runt. 3 points of damage. Threadbare Porter, this is Charles, targeting Ratkin Mongrel. Ratkin Mongrel, 2 points of damage, a minor bludgeoning wound. Ratkin Mongrel lets out a final snarl and falls. Threadbare Porter drops Ratkin Mongrel. We're doing very well here, people. Zorn readies the archers. A volley is coming. 11 PCs to 6 monsters. Cornered Prodigal's heir. This is Gremlin. Rent for 4 points of damage. Nice job. Cornered Prodigal's heir puts down Gremlin very nicely, down to -3. Reluctant Lector accepts the fight order. Brianna Reynolds comes up to Goblin Runt number, just not Goblin, just got not a Runt, Goblin number 2, drops him with a club. Nice job, Brianna. Reluctant Lector puts down that Goblin. 11 PCs to 4 monsters, doing very, very well here. Disowned Cultist Mrs. Dave moves toward White Ape and is going to cast Poison Spray against White Ape. 2 points of damage, minor poison wound. Arrow Storm. No, oh my God, 9 arrows. 9 arrows. We're doing so well. We got to take 9 arrows from the Goblin Archers who are atop the Blood Cage. 9 arrows. Brianna, minor piercing wound, 2 points of damage. A Disowned Cultist. A Disowned Cultist, 4 points of damage, moderate poison wound. A piercing wound, excuse me. Mrs. Dave, a Disowned Cultist, you have dropped. Cautious Torchbearer, 0 Almighty, 3 points of damage, moderate piercing wound that leaves its mark. Devastating Blow. Oh my God, 0 Almighty. I am sorry, your Cautious Torchbearer has dropped. A Tattered Merchant's Guard, 5 points of damage, major piercing wound. Oh my God, Zorn is shooting people down from the top of the Blood Cage. Brent's Tattered Merchant Guard has fallen. Lutetia takes 5 damage, 4 turned aside, 1 taken as injury, a minor piercing wound. Cornered Prodigal's heir, 5 points of damage, a minor piercing wound. Major piercing wound. Oh my God, and that drops Mauricio. I am sorry, Mauricio. Roll a new character, Mauricio. That's life at level 0. Threadbare Porter, Charles, 2 points of damage, a minor piercing wound. Splintered Cultist comes in, pierced for 4 points of damage. That is enough to drop the Splintered Cultist. Oh my God. Splintered Cultist of Tabletop Scholar, you have fallen. Zorn has shot a lot of us down, rarely nicely, also still has to take damage. 2 damage, 1 turned aside, 1 taken as injury, minor piercing wound. Portcullis, oh my God, now the Portcullis opens. Ratkin Gorechild is coming in behind us. We are now 6 PCs to 5 monsters. Ratkin Gorechild goes into Sir Weeble of Wobble. 2 damage, 1 turned aside, 1 taken as injury. Let's put this down, people. Let's put them down. Rarely nicely going to a move M3, but then going up to Ratkin Gorechild. Cut him down, please. 4 points of damage. Not quite dead, but nice job. Nice job, rarely nicely. Round 2, the initiative deck now reshuffles. Ratkin Gorechild is going first into Weeble of Wobble. Stay alive. 5 points of damage. Oh my god. Weeble of Wobble, Echo Amberston, down but not dead. Down but not dead. Lutetia accepts an AOA order. Lutetia targets the white ape. Okay, Lutetia goes with the flame bolt to the white ape, into the white ape. 4 points of damage, drops him to 2 of 8. Nice job. We are now 5 PCs to 5 monsters. Floundering Porter going AOA to an E3. Oh, we need more than that. Kobold Crawler goes at the Reluctant Lecter, coming in on the flank, throwing into the Reluctant Lecter, Brianna Reynolds. 3 points of damage, a moderate piercing wound. A Reluctant Lecter collapses out cold, but still breathing. Reluctant Lecter is still up. Let's see. White Ape. Oh, my God. White Ape. White Ape is going into a Floundering Porter. This is Sable Phoenix. 7 points of damage to a Floundering Porter. Tremendous bludgeoning wound. The Floundering Porter has dropped. I am sorry, Sable. The Floundering Porter has dropped. Kobold Crawler number 3 goes into Threadbare Porter. 1 point of damage, minor piercing wound only. We need to draw some heroes right here. We need to draw some heroes. Well, we still have some Kobold that's got to go. Yeah, Kobold's going to draw into Threadbare Porter. Going to throw here into Charles. Threadbare Porter, 1 point of damage. Oh, that dropped the Threadbare Porter. This is a horrific blood cage to open up on. This is a horrific blood cage to open up on, for absolutely sure. Okay, so now we should have, yeah, Rarely Nicely is going fight. Rarely Nicely is going a fight order into Ratkin Gorechild. Put him down. Put him down. Okay, critical hit. Nice job, Rarely Nicely. Rarely Nicely puts down Ratkin Gorechild with 9 points of damage. There you go. Ratkin Gorechild goes down permanently. 2 PCs to 4 monsters. Zorn spares the worthy. 6 XP each. 4 survivors share the spoils. Zorn has said, this is enough. You have earned your gruel for the night. Zorn spares the worthy. The heroes have survived the blood cage. Very nicely job. Rarely Nicely gets 45 coppers. Lutetia gets 36. There were 81 coppers thrown into the cage because people love it. There will be things for you to buy with coppers later. I just haven't gotten to build that yet. But right now, we're putting some coins in your pocket. There you go. That's the crowd throwing coins to you. Rarely Nicely and Lutetia. Nice job. Okay, Zorn spared the worthy. You got out. Let's go to the winch room. Let's turn the winch. So who got out? Everybody who got out, whether they were alive or dead. Rarely Nicely got another blood drop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blood drops. Nice job, Rarely Nicely. Let's turn the let's let the goblins do their thing. Goblin medics, no help there. Rarely Nicely, no help there. Lutetia, well, no help there. These goblin medics really had nothing going on for them. Who gets promoted this time? Reluctant Lecter, Brianna, Cleric level 1. You got it. And let's go to sort and dismiss. That was the first cage. Infirmary. We got how many people here? I'm gonna have to go get another drink. I'm gonna have to get another drink at the refrigerator. Just 1 second. 31 characters in the infirmary. We got 330 characters in the stable. Be aware that, hey, if you are in the stable, you will not fight in the blood cage. The stable is your safe space. If you have characters who you want to fight, hit bang T all. Just like I just showed right there. That's bang T space all. Exactly what I just typed. If you do that, then your characters who are in the stable will move over to the tavern, so they will be able to fight. And yes, by the way, you can go the other way. If you go bang S all, bang T all moves you to the tavern. If you go bang S all, that moves you all your characters to the stable. But remember that level 0 characters cannot leave the stable. So the system enforces that. If you have both level 1 and level 0 characters in the tavern, the only way for level 0 characters to head out, get out of the tavern, is through the blood cage. So there you go. And by the way, you can also hit bang char right here, and that will tell you exactly where all of your characters are. If you hit bang char, first letter, T is for tavern, S is for stable, I is for infirmary. The next letters are your dog tag of that particular character, and it tells you their level and then their class right there. So if you want to know where you are, hit bang char. But be aware, you should log in to zornsdungeon.com with the same Google login information and also YouTube address or YouTube channel that you are using to play the game. If you do that, then you'll see all of your characters, and you can change the locations of your characters much more easily and directly. Hey, Van Davis, welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, let's go to the tavern. I'm gonna grab something new in the tavern. Reeve Versant. Okay, then present but fought 0 times. So bang in right now. I'm gonna grab something from the kitchen. Just 1 second. Then we'll do 2, blood cage number 2. All right, everybody, I am back. Everybody, have you hit the like? We have 18 likes out of 25. If we can get to 25 likes, we will get the blessing of the fairy. We need the blessing of the fairy because everybody needs as many hit points as we can possibly get. If we can get to 25 likes on this stream, then we will, everybody who is in the tavern will get +1 temporary hit points. So if you have not liked this, Sable Phoenix, wait a minute, I got a question here. Sable Phoenix says, what are the rules for moving through squares with other PCs? I've seen PCs move through slots with other PCs, but that AOA order I sent made my character go around, and I could not act. You should be able to move through PCs. The rule should be that PCs, may, that heroes may move through heroes and monsters may move through monsters, but heroes cannot move through monsters and monsters cannot move through PCs. But I think it costs you extra to move through a space that somebody's already occupied by. So I will check on that at the end of this game. I will check on that. But you should be able to move through allies, and monsters should be able to move through monsters, but not vice versa. But I believe it does cost you additional movement points to move through a slot, move through a space where your through your allies. It should cost you more to move through your allies. I believe that's the case. I will look at that, and I will report back. But that's the way that it should be. We will see. All right. So 20 of 25. Let's go. Let's go. Let's play. Holding cell. Let's go to the holding cell and let's draft. Super VIPs first. There are none. Those are Game Master designated VIPs. Those you can do through Super Chat, or when you log into zornsdungeon.com, you are awarded with enough iron coins to give a free VIP to any character you would like. If you are new to the cage, if you've never fought before, you will then be next. Then everybody who is present but not yet fought, and presence is defined by anyone who's spoken within the chat within the last 35 minutes. And then anybody who is present but has fought before, if you fought 3 times, you'll be drafted behind somebody who's fought 2 times. If you fought 2 times, you'll be drafted behind somebody who has fought 1 time. Let's draft. Here we go. Reeve Versant, a disheveled town militia, you are in level 0. Kyle, Motley Pilgrim, you are in a level 1 cleric. Proud Star, Oberon, you are in, who happens to be a VIP right here. VIP of the Cage, August, let's see, let's take that down. August 16th, I believe that is. Yes. Oh, no, August 18th. And Victor of One Cage. So, Proud Stars Oberon is a major hero. We need to get him out of here. John NJDM, Blindly, was that bottle? Blindle Bottleby. Level 1 cleric, you are in. Van Davis, a wandering town watchman, you are in. Level 0. Mauricio, a sheltered burglar, level 0, you are in. Mrs. Dave, Joel Olstein. Okay, Joel Olstein is in, level 1 cleric. Charles, a defiant torchbearer, level 0. Sable Phoenix, a displaced city guard, level 0, you are in. 0, Almighty, a witless antiquarian's assistant, level 0. A vulgar unicorn, a scratched lector, level 0, you are in. Brent, Bumblebee, level 1 thief, you are in, who happens to be uncommon. And Starless. We're going to be playing in 1 minute and 9 seconds. If you would like to buff any of your characters through Super Chat, first $1.99 gets you +2 temporary hit points. The next $1.99 gets you +1 damage. The next $1.99 gets you +2 saving throws. We are about to, oh, and there we have the odds maker has come through. Proud Star, Oberon, level 1 knight. You have a 75% chance of making it out alive, because the odds maker runs this game 100 times and then reports back. So John Bendel, you have a 77% chance of making it out alive. Van Davis, a wandering town watchman, 23% chance of making it out alive. Mauricio, oh my God, have we ever? I'm sorry, Mauricio. Have we ever seen someone with such a low chance of making it out? I'm not sure. Mauricio, a sheltered burglar, only has a 7% chance of making it out of this cage alive. Maybe that's because the sheltered burglar only has 1 hit point. I mean, it's tough being a level 0 character. I am sorry, Mauricio. You've got 1 HP. So there you go. Yes, you have 1 HP. So I know. Let's try to make this a goal. Let's make this a goal. Let's try to get Mauricio out of here with a 1 HP chance. Let's see. The vulgar unicorn scratched lector 14% with HP of 3. Brent Rumblebee 42% chance. All right. Okay. So there we go. Okay. So yeah. So maybe we have. Anyone with 1 HP, if you show up with 1 HP, that's kind of the life of a level 0 character. I'm sorry about that. All right. Bang spawn again, create a new character. All right, let's go to the blood cage. AOA, type the command into the YouTube live stream chat. You do not have to type any command in the chat. You will automatically move with balanced offense, defense, and movement. But if you want to go AOA, that is all out attack. That increases your attack power. Shields and dodge are useless. AOA still respects engagement locked. So if you are engagement locked with someone, you must attack them. You can't attack somebody else. Optionally, add coordinates to move to that location first. If a monster is standing in that square, that will become the target that you try to move to. Bang M, that is move. That moves your character to the coordinates. Bang M requires coordinates. You must put in coordinates like bang M D4. What bang M space D4. That will move your character to those coordinates, and that move order will persist until that character arrives at that locations across turns. The character still gets actions as normal. That's casting spells, attacking, whatever. AOD, all-out defense, sacrifices movement and attacks for additional defense. Bang hold. Characters will not move, but they will attack monsters within range. And if you have a missile weapon or a spell, well, that counts as range. It does. If no action is taken and the character is later attacked, it will be treated as if you were on Bang AOD. Bang Run Retreat improves the character's chance of breaking enemies' engagement lock. If the break fails, you will be treated as if you were on AOD, but optionally you can add coordinates to the run to try to move toward those coordinates. Bang Fight, that returns you to fighting as usual, cancels all previous orders, and returns the character to autoplay mode. Optionally, add coordinates and your character will move to that location if the square is empty, or will attack the monster in that square until they are dead. For instance, if you hit Bang Fight D4, if there's a monster in D4, you will target that monster. Your character will accept the last order given, so you are welcome to send as many orders as you like to your character, but the character will accept the last order given, so if situations change on the battlefield, send in another order. Orders stand until you give a new one. Let's go. Let's open the cage. 16 monsters, 3 apes. 16 monsters, 3 apes. 16 monsters, 3 apes. Front line, Van Davis, a wandering town watchman. Second line, Vevi Versant, a disheveled town militia. Front line, Charles Lafever, a defiant torchbearer. First line. Sable Phoenix, a displaced city guard. Front line. Second line, Proud Star, Oberon. Second line, Maurice, a sheltered burglar. Second line, Brent, Rumblebee. Second line, Mrs. Dave, Joel Olstein. Kyle Motley, your third line. John Blendel, Bottleby. Back line, third line. Vulgar Unicorn, Scratch Lecter, third line. Zero Almighty, a witless antiquarian's assistant. There we go. All right. Anybody want to enter any other command? Commands are now active. I'm about to hit to start the fight. Let's start the fight. Here we go. Defiant Torchbearer goes hold. Defiant Torchbearer, this is Charles on a hold order. Now, Cave Imp comes up to Sable Phoenix. A Cave Imp breaks a claw. Hit for 1 point of damage, a minor slashing wound that lands clean. This is White Ape looking at disheveled town militia. White Ape throwing at the militia member. 2 points of damage, a minor bludgeoning wound. Goblin Runt targets a defiant torchbearer. Goblin Runt comes up to Charles. 2 points of damage, 1 turned aside, 1 taken as injury. Witless Antiquarian's assistant goes to Cave Imp. Witless Antiquarian's assistant, 1 point of damage, minor acid wound to the Cave Imp. Okay, Cave Imp, a wandering town watchman, 3 points of damage, moderate slashing wound. Goblin, disheveled town militia member, Reversant, your helm cracks and sheds, a near miss with death. Disheveled town militia is left staggered. So came in and you hit it with your head. You deflected with your head. We've got quite a battle line going on the edge of Zone 1. Cave Imp number 3 going to a defiant torchbearer. 1 point of damage, minor slashing wound. Joel Olstein goes AOA. Joel Olstein going AOA. Come on. Looking at Cave Imp. Comes in on Cave Imp's flank with a club here. 7 points of damage. Joel Olstein comes out swinging. 7 points of damage. Beats open the Cave Imp's skull and puts it down. Very nice job. Very nice job. Motley comes up to Cave Imp. 1 point of damage, minor bludgeoning wound. 12 PCs to 15 monsters. White Ape is looking at displaced city guard. White Ape throws into displaced city guard. 1 point of damage, minor bludgeoning wound. Gremlin. Now, Gremlin targets Joel Olstein. Gremlin comes to Joel. 1 point of damage only. Minor slashing wound. Slimeling targets Defiant Torchbearer. Not moving up. Okay, so we have a extra extra turn here. Oberyn targets Gremlin. Oberyn comes up to Gremlin in the flank, putting down Oberyn. Oh yes, critical. Oh my God, yes, critical. 12 points of damage with a short spear. Just like drives that spear through the Gremlin. The Gremlin's body explodes. The Gremlin's black blood goes everywhere in the blood cage. Nice job. Goblin now moves toward Oberyn. Goblin number 3. Oberyn angles his shield and rides out the impact. The shield is down to 1 of 2 durability. Goblin targets Joel. Okay, Goblin number 4 coming into Joel. 5 points of damage, major piercing wound that drops. Joel. Oh, I am sorry, Mrs. Dave. Oh my God. F in the chat, everyone. Joel Olstein. I like Joel Olstein. I thought that was fun. Joel Olstein, level 1 cleric of Mrs. Dave, a veteran of 2 different cages, has now fallen. I am sorry. F in the chat. Okay, Ratkin Mongrel targets Oberyn. Ratkin Mongrel comes into Oberyn. 1 point of damage, a minor piercing wound that pierces. Goblin now a Defiant Torchbearer. Targets a witless antiquarian's assistant. This is Zero Almighty. Cave Imp. Now looking for a target. Probably not going to get to Oberyn as well. We have quite the battle line. Looking at Display City Guard. No, we have quite the battle line going on at the edge of Zone 1 and Zone 2. Cave Imp is not able to get there. So going to stay there. White Ape. Now, White Ape may be able to throw a boulder. Looking at throwing a boulder at Oberyn. Yes, probably going to throw a boulder at Oberyn. Boulder comes into Oberyn. 2 points of damage. Minor bludgeoning wound. Ratkin Mongrel coming into Oberyn. Probably not going to be able to get there. Also, retargeting to Defiant Torchbearer, looking for a target. Probably not going to be able to find the target, being so far away. Ratkin Mongrel advances, and that's it. Okay, Bendel Bottleby. This is John going M to B2. Looking at the Goblin here. Throws at the Goblin. This is with a sling. Throws a sling. 2 points of damage to the Goblin with the sling. Wandering Town Watchman. This is Van Davis goes AOA. Van Davis is going AOA. We're locked in melee with Cave Imp. Has to go to the Cave Imp. Locked in melee. 3 points of damage. Wandering Town Watchman. Nice job. Van Davis puts down Cave Imp number 2. Very nicely done. Scratch Lecter, Vulgar Unicorn going down, going against Cave Imp. 4 points of damage with a club. Nice job. Cave Imp number 4 drops. Disheveled Town Militia. Reeve comes in to Goblin number 2. 3 points of damage to Goblin. Moderate piercing wound. Nice job with the long spear. Puts down Goblin number 2. Rumblebee. Brent targets Goblin. Rumblebee attacks the Goblin number 4 with a club. Only 1 point of damage. I am sorry about that. Sheltered Burglar goes AOA. Display City Guard. Sable Phoenix targets Goblin. Comes into Goblin's flank. Display City Guard. Goblin number 4. Goblin reels from 4 points of damage with a halberd. The moderate bludgeoning wound. The bludgeoning end of the halberd. Display City Guard puts it down. Zorn readies the archers. A volley is incoming. Round 2, initiative deck is reshuffled. Let's see. Motley weaves resistance around a wandering town militia that will give him advantage on saves until the fight ends. Importantly, death saves right now. Oberon, Proud Star goes AOD. Proud Star is going AOD, all-out defense. A displaced city guard. This is Sable Phoenix going into Goblin number 1. Critical. Goblin is rocked by 6 points of damage, a major bludgeoning wound that lands clean. Cave Imp targets Wandering Town Watchman. Wandering Town Watchman, Cave Imp, 3 points of damage to the Watchman, moderate slashing wound. I am sorry, Van Davis, you are down, but you are down but not dead. Down but not dead. Can we get Van Davis out of here? We got to get Van Davis out of here. 3 arrows from the top of the cage. There are 3 goblin archers who are shooting down at us. A defiant torchbearer. 3 points of damage, moderate piercing wound. Defiant Torchbearer is struck dead on the spot. A Scratched Lecter. Scratched Lecter takes 3 damage, 1 turned aside, 2 taken as injury, minor piercing wound. Bindley Bottleby. Bindley sustains 1 point of damage, minor piercing wound. Ratkin Mongrel goes to Oberon. Evaded. Nice job, Oberon. Nice job. Oberon evades Ratkin Mongrel number 2. Nice job. White Ape targets displaced city guard. White Ape coming in to displaced city guard. 2 points of damage, a minor bludgeoning wound. Then Rumblebee takes 3 points of damage. Oh my God. Second attack, Rumblebee. Brent, I am sorry. You have perished. F in the chat. F in the chat. Can I get there fast enough? F in the chat to everyone. Rumblebee, level 1, starless and uncommon character. I am sorry, Rumblebee. Brent, you have perished. I am very sorry. F in the chat for Rumblebee. Zorn signals to ready the portcullis. We are now at 8 PCs to 9 monsters. It is 8 to 9. 1 PC is laying on the floor. Ratkin Mongrel comes up to the Scratched Lecter. 1 point of damage. Oh, Vulgar Unicorn, your Scratched Lecter is down but not dead. Not going to be able to help us in this fight, but can we get these people out? We've got to do it. If we can do this, we can get them out. We still have 3 apes. I mean, that is insane. We have 3 apes. White Ape number 1 goes to Disheveled Town Militia. Evaded. Nice job. Nice job. Reeve Versant. Nice job. Then comes into Motley Pilgrim. 5 points of damage. That puts down Kyle. Kyle, Motley Pilgrim, I am sorry. You are down but not dead. You are down but not dead. 6 PCs to 9 monsters. Bindley Bottleby goes AOA. Decides to go, hey, I'm going all-out attack looking at this White Ape. Underdog Bindley throws with a sling. 5 points of damage into White Ape, now down to 3 of 8 health points on the ape. Nice job. Zorn stays his hand. There will be no portcullis monsters coming in. We're fighting what we've got. It is 6 PCs to 9. Slimeling comes in to Mauricio. Oh my God. Slimeling comes in with the pseudopods. Slap, 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 slap. And puts down the staggered burglar. I am sorry. Slimeling comes in and puts down the burglar. Goblin Runt. Now a Disheveled Town Militia into Reeve. Vicious critical. Oh my God. Skewered for 6 points of damage. A major piercing wound. That drops the Disheveled Town Militia of Reeve Versant. Oh my God. We are now down to 4 PCs of 9 monsters. Witless Antiquarian's Assistant is going fight. Witless Antiquarian's Assistant is on a fight order, so throws Acid Splash at Ratkin Mongrel. Only 1 point of damage. Only 1 point of damage there. Goblin now targets Oberon. Target goes into Oberon. Evaded. Nice job. Goblin number 3 attempts to attack Oberon, but is evaded. Nice job. White ape moves toward Oberon. In Oberon's flank comes in. Let's see. Oh, Oberon's wooden shield buckles and splits. There's nothing left for Oberon to hide behind. Epic defense, 3 unscathed. White ape comes in again, puts 3 points of damage on Oberon, a moderate bludgeoning wound. Oberon drops. Oh my God, Proud Star, you have dropped. Not dead. Zorn spares the worthy. That's it. Zorn says you have earned your gruel for the night. You have earned your gruel for the night. The heroes who are alive, 6 XP, 7 survivors share the spoil. The crowd throws coppers to their favorites. A displaced city guard, that Sable Phoenix, you get 24 coppers. Bindley, John, you get 17 coppers. A witless antiquarian's assistant, 17 coppers. Zorn says, that's enough. I've seen enough. Go ahead and enjoy your dinner. Zorn spares the worthy. There we go. Nice job. Nice job, everyone. All right, to the winch room. Let's bring people up. Everyone who survived that gets a blood drop. Blood drops to everyone. That's what the blood drop means. The blood drops means that you've survived a blood cage. Let's deploy the goblin medics. Let's see. Kyle, Motley, no help there. Proud Star, little help from the goblin, little more help from the goblin medics. You're at 2 of 6. You're at 3 of 6. Goblins helping you out there. Bindley, John, little help there. Let's go to promotions. Does anybody need a promotion after that? Were there any levels? No, yes. Witless Antiquarian's Assistant, Zero Almighty, level 1 Mage. Nice job. You are level 1 now, level 0. And you are now level 1. Learn Sleep, and you've got all of your hit points back. Van Davis, Wandering Town Watchman. All of your hit points are back. Nice job. Level 1 Fighter. Scratch Lecter, Vulgar Unicorn, level 1. Nice job. Level 1 Cleric, and all of your hit points are restored. Displaced City Guard, Stable Phoenix, level 1 Fighter. Nice job. All right, let's sort and dismiss. We got 32 characters in the infirmary who are trying to heal. We got 334 in the stable. Remember, if you've got characters in the stable and you want them to fight, hit bang T space all. That will move them over, or go to zornsdungeon.com, log in with the exact same YouTube credentials and or Google credentials and YouTube channel that you are playing with. You will see your characters, and you will be able to move your characters with much more specificity if you log into zornsdungeon.com. And the first time you log into zornsdungeon.com, you're going to get enough iron coins to get a free VIP. All right, let's just keep going. I think it's time to keep going. Let me make sure we refresh the tavern here. Let's see who is in this tavern. TSL Frontman is here. Oh, we have a gifted membership. Sable Phoenix has gifted a membership to Van Davis. Sable Phoenix just gifted a membership to Van Davis. Van Davis can now have 4 heroes at a time active instead of just 2. So thank you very, very much, Sable. Sable has gifted that to Van Davis. Van Davis, now you can have 4 active characters, and you can also have 1 VIP. Well, it's not in the VIP, excuse me. 1 priority draft a month. There we go, Van Davis. There we go. New member right there. We can see that's the new member badge. So we can see we have lots of people who are members of the channel, and I do really, really, really appreciate that. There is a lot more that I want to do with this game. I love this game so much. There is so much more I want to do with it. So being a channel member is a huge help. I'm working as fast as I can to develop this game. I really am. And so I really appreciate channel members. I really appreciate channel members. So the white and gray with the Ravenkeep logo, those are new members. So I really appreciate seeing everyone here as a channel member. So thank you very, very much. All right, let's see. We got 21. Has anybody not hit the like button? Oh, let's go to Gift of the Fairy. That was the number 2. We have 4. We have 4 fights tonight. We have 2 more fights. I believe that was the second fight. That gives us 2 more fights tonight. Let's go to the Gift of the Fairy. 2 more fights tonight, but first, let's go to the Gift of the Fairy. Let's see what the fairy says. The fairy says, "Hero of the cage, you have bled for Zorn in his cruel game, and though you did not break, your gear did. Here, take this, I found it for you. It might have the blood of one less fortunate still on it, but it was all I could find. Use it to become the hero I know you can be." Brianna, Living Rock, you get a bag of old copper coins, 18 copper pieces. Rob of Daggerford, a bag of old copper coins, 10 copper coins. Brandon the Sharp, Sable Phoenix, 8 copper coins. Zornbane, Kyle, 6 copper coins. Holy Knight of Brianna Reynolds, 17 copper coins. There'll be something for you to buy with copper coins later. We're just distributing cash right now. Clandor Glitterleaf, John, 9 copper coins. James Miller, Sable Phoenix, 2 copper coins. Spearguard, Brianna Reynolds, 13 copper coins. Ian the Black, 150 copper coins. Nice job, Corey. 150 copper coins. Portia, 145 copper coins. That's Access Your Inner Light. Portia, nice job. Oberon, Wolf Chewed Buckler. That's Proud Star, Wolf Chewed Buckler. All right, there we go. We got 2 more fights tonight. We have 2 more fights tonight. Let's go ahead and fight. I think it's time to fight. Right. I think it's time to fight. We have TSL Frontman, who has not fought yet tonight. We have a number of people who fought once, and then we have another people who fought twice. So that's the number. That's our priority drafting order. I don't think we have any VIPs right now, or anybody who's new to the cage. Let's see. Oh, no. Let's see. I just saw Ben. Welcome, Ben. Welcome. Look. Oh, okay. Let's see. Ben. Oh, you just made it. Ben, you just made it. You're going to fight in this next cage, Ben. You're about to fight in this next cage. Welcome. It is so great to have you. Thank you so much for being here. All right. Let's go ahead and draft. Here we go. All right. Let's see. Oh, no. What? Trying to hit this button. Dave just buffed Thurman Merman. Thank you very much. Got +1 HP. Yes. Okay. So there we go. Thurman Merman. Okay. Thurman Merman just got VIP'd and is in +2 HP. I think that's what happened. I think that's correct. And what just happened? I believe that's right. So Dave, Thurman Merman, you are in with +2 hit points. Okay. So thank you very much, Dave. Thank you. Then Ben, a scraped man-at-arms, level 0, you are in. TSL frontman Toto, who has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blood drops, meaning he's been through 5 blood cages. Then Dante, a savaged porter, level 0. Brianna Reynolds, an excommunicated smuggler. Van Davis, a sunburnt smuggler, level 0. John, Andal the Brave, a level 1 paladin. Kyle, a threadbare apprentice, level 1 fighter, who happens to be an MVP on August 18th. All right. Then also survived a blood cage on the 12th. Courtney, very nicely. So Van Davis just put in $2. Thank you very much, Van Davis. Thank you very much, Van Davis. Van Davis buffed a sunburnt smuggler for a +2 temporary HP. Thank you very much. A thread is a that's a thread bar apprentice. A thread bar apprentice. Yeah, that's right. There we go. Thank you, Van Davis. I really appreciate that. So Courtney very nicely is the veteran of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blood cages. Oh, Van Davis comes in, sunburnt smuggler. Also now gets +1 damage. Thank you very much, Van Davis. You also get +1 damage. Van Davis going in all on the sunburnt smuggler. We got to get Van Davis's character out of here. 26% chance of survival, but that does not count any kind of buffs that you give them or how you play the character. So we need to get Van Davis out of here. We need to get Van Davis's character out of here. Echo Aberstern, an exiled gnome tinker, level 0, well-starred. Sable Phoenix, a guarded dwarf miner. Mrs. Dave, no Fs. Jambi the genie, level 1 mage. Okay, so let's see. As far as our buffs go, Brianna, an excommunicated smuggler, you get a 22% chance of making it out. Dave, Van Davis, before all of your buffs, or not counting all of your buffs, you got a 26% chance of getting out. John, Andal the Brave, 80% chance of getting out. Courtney, very nicely, 87% chance of getting out. Let's fight. Let's fight. Here we go. All right, AOA. You do not have to issue any kind of command to your character. I really need a video on this point because I feel like, how many times do I have to repeat myself? I think you guys understand. But you do not have to issue any command to your character because your character will fight as if they were on Bang Fight, like automatically with balanced offense, defense, and movement. But if you want to change how your character fights, you can go Bang AOA. That gives you all-out attack, increases attack power, shields and dodge useless. AOA still does respect engagement lock. So if you are fighting somebody in melee and you go AOA, you will AOA the character you are fighting in melee. Optionally, you may add coordinates to move to that location first. If a monster is standing in that square, then that will be your target. Okay, so for instance, Bang AOA, exclamation point AOA space D4, for instance. Bang M, movement. Movement must include coordinates. Moves your character to the coordinates and persists until arrival. That means it will persist through multiple turns. The character still gets to attack, cast spells, whatever, ranged attacks as normal each turn. You're just trying to move to a particular location. Bang AOD is all-out defense. You will sacrifice movement and attacks for additional defense power. Bang Hold, that means hold the line. Your character will not move, but will attack monsters within range. If no action is taken on your turn and your character is later attacked, you will be treated as if you are on an AOD. Bang Run means that improves your chances of breaking an enemy's engagement lock. If the break fails, you will defend as if you are on AOD and you will try to run again next turn. Optionally, you can add coordinates to attempt to reach that particular square. Bang Fight. Bang Fight cancels all previous orders and returns the character to autoplay mode with balanced offense, defense, and movement. Optionally, you can add coordinates to Bang Fight, and your character will move to that location if the square is empty, or attack the monster on that square until it's dead. If you have a particular target you want to attack, Bang Fight space coordinates is the way to go. Your character will accept the last order given and execute it at the start of its next turn. Orders stand until a new order is given. Let's go. Everyone is in the fight. If you in the cage, orders are now being accepted. Enter your coordinates, your orders now. We are 12 monsters. 12 PCs to 15 monsters and only one white ape. Ben, a scraped man-at-arms, front line. John, Andal the Brave, front line. Sable Phoenix, a guarded dwarf miner, front line. Dave, Thurman Merman, front line. Kyle, thread bar apprentice. Okay, second line. Van Davis, sunburnt smuggler, second line. Brianna, excommunicated smuggler, second line. Courtney, very nicely, second line. TSL frontman, Toto, third line. Dante, savaged porter, third line. Echo Aberstern, third line. Mrs. Dave, Jambi the Genie, third line. And please do let me know if you, because I was trying to decrease the latency in this game. If you've noticed that, please let me know. I was trying to decrease the latency. That was my major objective over the last 24 hours. So if you've noticed that, please do let me know. Or if you haven't noticed that, let me know that too. That was what I was talking about when we started this episode. What I was talking about. So let me know if I achieved my objective. I don't know. Let's start the fight. All right, let's go. Here we go. Scraped Man-at-Arms. This is Ben looking at Cave Imp. Ben is coming down to Cave Imp with a short spear. 4 points of damage to Cave Imp. Scraped Man-at-Arms goes into Cave Imp and puts the Cave Imp down. Nice job. All right, 12-14. Nice job. Cave Imp now looking down at Ben. Deflected. The Scraped Man-at-Arms deflects the attack of the Cave Imp. Let's see. Cave Imp comes in to Scraped Man-at-Arms. 1 stamina spent, no wound. Very nicely, Courtney. And now looking at, what is this? Cave Imp right here? Cave Imp goes into the flank here. A little bit of damage there. I'm going to move the receipts on the cage down to the bottom left instead of the top. I'm going to move it down to the bottom. But they are coming through, it looks like. Cave Imp comes on, Scraped Man-at-Arms. 1 point of damage, a minor slashing wound. Thurman Merman comes in on Cave Imp's flank. 6 points of damage, a major piercing wound. The Cave Imp lets out a final snarl and falls. Nice job, Thurman. We got 12 PCs to 13 monsters. We got a Gremlin coming up next, going into Scraped Man-at-Arms. Gremlin deflected. Nice job, Ben. Scraped Man-at-Arms deflects the attack of Goblin number 2. Nice job. Goblin Runt targets Andal the Brave. Goblin Runt goes into Andal. What, 1 point of damage? Okay, 1 point of damage right there. Okay, Goblin now targeting Thurman Merman. Goblin number 2. Critical hit. Thurman Merman's half helm cracks and sheds. A near miss with death. Sherman Merman is left staggered. Threadbare Apprentice Kyle goes into Goblin Runt. Not much going on there. Goblin, we are now 12-13. Goblin moves toward Guarded Dwarf Miner. Guarded Dwarf Miner takes a puncture wound of 5 points of damage. Oh, and drops. The Guarded Dwarf Miner drops. Sable Phoenix, I am sorry. The dwarf has dropped. Slimeling targets Thurman Merman. Targeting Andal the Brave. Slimeling trying to get to Andal the Brave. Don't know the Slimeling is actually going to be able to get there. No. Andal the Brave goes fight. Andal the Brave is going a fight order. Looking at the Goblin Runt right there. So coming in with the Warhammer, 2 points of damage. Minor bludgeoning wound. That does put down the Goblin Runt that is right in front of Andal the Brave. Nice job, John. Exiled Gnome Tinker. Exiled Gnome Tinker comes in toward Goblin number 3, rocked by 4 points of damage. The Goblin's body goes limp, and it is finished. Ratkin Mongrel. Okay, Ratkin Mongrel targets a Scraped Man-at-Arms. Targets Thurman Merman instead. I mean, this Ratkin is coming from way downtown. Probably not going to be able to actually make an attack, but comes into the end of zone 2. Okay, Gremlin also coming from way downtown. Where is this Gremlin going to go? Nowhere. Okay, White Ape now looking at Ben, trying to get down to Ben. We're going to throw at Ben. Going to throw a boulder at Ben. 1 point of damage to a scraped men-at-arms. Minor bludgeoning wound. Goblin now targets Threadbare Apprentice. Okay, critical. Oh my God, critical hit. 8 points of damage. 1 turned aside. 7 taking his injury. That goblin put the crude spear through Threadbare Apprentice's throat. Dropped him. Whoa. Kobold Crawler moves toward Andal the Brave. Is going to be able to throw. Kobold Crawler number 2 throws, and Andal the Brave deflected. Andal the Brave deflects with Warhammer. Deflected. Nice job. Sunburnt Smuggler goes move to C1 and then is going to attack right at C1. Sunburnt Smuggler goes to Goblin 1. 2 points of damage. Minor slashing wound. Not able to put down that goblin. Toto goes hold. Toto is going to a hold order, but can therefore attack with, I believe this is a light crossbow. 1 point of damage, minor piercing wound. Savage Porter targets Goblin. Savage Porter comes up to Goblin number 1. 2 points of damage, minor bludgeoning wound. The goblin hits the stone and does not rise. Savage Porter, this is Dante. Nice job. We are 10 PCs to 10 monsters. It is 10 to 10. We are still in round 1. This is an intense fight right here. Jambi the Genie, this is Mrs. Dave, comes in on the gremlin's flank. 2 points of damage to the gremlin, minor poison wound. Zorn readies the archers. A volley is incoming. Will we have, man, we have had a lot of action right here, and we are still not even to 33% HP to trigger the archers. Kobold Crawler number 1 throws into Man-at-Arms flank, throws into Ben. Deflected. Nice job. Nice job, scraped Man-at-Arms. Nice job. Excommunicated Smuggler targets Ratkin Mongrel. Coming up, 1 point of damage only. Oh, we needed more than that, Brianna, but okay. Doing what you can do right there. It is 10 PCs to 9 monsters. We are now at round 2, and our initiative deck is reshuffled. Cave Imp number 3 is up first. Goes into the scraped Man-at-Arms. This is Ben. Deflected. Nice job. Deflected. Nice job. Deflected. We are 10 PCs to 9 monsters. Goblin targets a Thurman Merman. Goblin comes in. Critical. Oh my God. No mercy. Gored for 8 points of damage. Goblin number 2 puts 8 points of damage on Thurman Merman. Thurman Merman should be dead, but they are not. Thurman Merman is reeling. Arrow Storm. 3 arrows from the top of the blood cage. Goblin archers shoot very nicely. You got to take an arrow. 2 points of damage. Andal the Brave, John. 3 points of damage. A moderate piercing wound. Thurman Merman, 3 points of damage. A moderate piercing wound. Thurman Merman drops. Oh my God. Thurman Merman. Oh, I am sorry, Thurman. Let's go F in the chat for Thurman Merman, a level 1 fighter. Dave, I am sorry. Veteran of 2 cages. Thurman Merman has dropped. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. F in the chat. Zorn signals to ready the portcullis. The goblins are standing by the crank. Exiled Gnome Tinker comes up to Ratkin Mongrel, 2 points of damage with a mace, puts the mace into the Ratkin Mongrel's head and drops it. Nice job, Exiled Gnome Tinker. We are 9 PCs to 8 monsters. Kobold Crawler looking at a scraped Man-at-Arms. Kobold Crawler comes in on a scraped Man-at-Arms flank. It's been deflected. Nice job. Nice job. Ben deflects the attack. Epic defense. Epic defense. 3 in a row. Nice. Nice job. Nice. Nice job. Kobold Crawler targets an Exiled Gnome Tinker. Kobold Crawler number 2 comes in. Evaded. Nice job, Echo. Echo, an Exiled Gnome Tinker, evades the attack, the throw of the dart from the Kobold. Nice job. Excellent job. Okay, 9 PCs to 8 monsters. Gremlin draws. Gremlin draws. Gremlin's coming across to Sunburnt Smuggler. Sunburnt Smuggler takes 3 damage, 2 turned aside, 1 taking his injury, minor slashing wound. Cave Imp targets Scraped Man-at-Arms in the flank. Cave Imp coming into the flank. 1 point of damage only. That could have been much worse. That could have been much worse. Very nicely going fight. This is Courtney very nicely going fight and looking at White Ape. Very nicely shooting at the White Ape from way downtown. Only 1 point of damage, a minor cold wound. It's okay. It is 9 PCs to 8 monsters. We are in round 2. Scraped Man-at-Arms goes a fight to F6. Calling the shot. Scraped Man-at-Arms goes Cave Imp number 4. 2 points of damage, minor piercing wound. Jambi the Genie targets the Goblin. So Jambi is looking at this Goblin, goes Poison Spray to the Goblin. 2 points of damage to the Goblin, a minor poison wound. Portcullis, Ratkin Gorechild. Ratkin Gorechild is coming from behind the line. Ratkin Gorechild comes in, looking at TSL Frontman. Devastating strike. Oh my God! 8 points of damage. A tremendous slashing wound. Oh my God. That is worth an F in the chat in a big way. Toto, veteran of 5 cages. TSL Frontman, 8-point tremendous slashing wound from a Ratkin Gorechild. That, if you are watching, that is worth an F in the chat. F in the chat. F in the chat for Toto. Oh my God, I am sorry. That is major defeat. 8 PCs to 8 monsters now. Oh my God, I can't believe we lost Toto. White Ape now moving up to an Exiled Gnome Tinker. 4 points of damage, 1 turned aside, 3 taken as injury. Echo, you are still up. Then the White Ape comes to the Excommunicated Smuggler, who evades the attack. You have evaded the attack of the White Ape. That could have been much worse. We are still 8 PCs to 8 monsters. We are in round 2. Sunburnt Smuggler is going AOA. AOA wants AOA to E2, so moves down to Slimeling. Okay, 7 points of damage. Nice job, Sunburnt Smuggler. The AOA works as intended and puts down the Slimeling. The Slimeling's sack opens and ooze flows all over the cage. Andal the Brave goes AOA to B2. Andal the Brave targets Ratkin Gorechild, punctured for 11 points of damage. A catastrophic piercing wound with the piercing end of the Warhammer through its brain. Nice job, puts it down. Very, very nice. Brianna Reynolds going fight to E4. Let's see. Excommunicated Smuggler goes 1 point of damage to a minor piercing wound into Goblin, but that is all it takes. Goblin number 2 drops. Salvaged Porter. This is Dante looking at Gremlin number 1 on the hunt for it. 1 point of damage. That is enough. 1 point of damage. Salvaged Porter puts Gremlin number 1 down. Round 3, initiative deck is now reshuffled. We're at the top. We're drawing Cave Imp. Cave Imp is going towards Scraped Man-at-Arms. Evaded. Scraped Man-at-Arms. This is Ben. You have evaded the attack of the Cave Imp. Nice job. Very, very nice job. We needed that. 8-4. Exiled Gnome Tinker is going AOA. Locked in combat with this white ape. Coming in with a mace, 8 points of damage, a tremendous bludgeoning wound. The light fades from the white ape's eyes. Fell-handed. Gnome Tinker is fell-handed. 3 kills in a row. Nice job. Very nicely done. Okay, Scraped Man-at-Arms goes AOA to an E3. Coming into Cave Imp. Cave Imp takes a puncture wound, 6 points of damage, a minor piercing wound. Cave Imp body goes limp. Also fell-handed. Ben, your Scraped Man-at-Arms, fell-handed. Nice job. Salvaged Porter, weaving virtue around the gnome, getting some temporary hit points right there. 1 temporary hit point. Nice job. Kobold Crawler targets Scraped Man-at-Arms. This has been only 1 point of damage. You are still hanging on. 1 of 5. You are 1 of 5. Jambi the Genie going to Kobold Crawler. Can you cast? Yes. Casting Poison Spray at Kobold Crawler. Struck for 2 points of damage. Minor poison wound. Andal the Brave, this is John going on a hold order. Okay, Sunburnt Smuggler, this is Van Davis targeting Kobold Crawler. Van Davis is coming in to Kobold Crawler number 2. 7 points of damage with a short sword to Kobold Crawler number 2. Kobold Crawler falls with a final thud. Victory! There we go. You have it. 8 XP each. 9 survivors share the spoils. 9 survivors get 8 XP each. 3 who fell get 4 XP each. Crowd throws coppers to their favorites. A Scraped Man-at-Arms, Ben, 25. Andal the Brave, 25. Exiled Gnome Tinker, 25. Sunburnt Smuggler, 18. That's Van Davis. Jambi the Genie, Mrs. Dave, 16. Excommunicated Squire, Brianna, 15. A Salvaged Porter, 14. Very nicely, 6. For a total of 144 coppers thrown from the crowd to you. There's nothing to spend coppers on right now, but there will be. People getting coppers because of the heroism in the cave. We got one more fight tonight. Winch room turned. Everybody who survives gets a blood drop. Nice job. Let's deploy the goblin medics. Courtney, very nicely. No effect there. Andal the Brave gets a little help from the goblin medics. Threadbar Apprentice. Was that a little help? I'm not sure. Who gets some promotions? Scraped Man-at-Arms, Knight, level 1. Ben, you got a level 1 Knight, and all of your wounds are washed away. The only free healing in this game is when you go from level 0 to level 1. Salvaged Porter, Dante, level 1 Cleric. You get all of your health and spells back. When you go from level 0 to level 1, you get everything back. Thief, level 1, Sunburnt Smuggler. Exiled Gnome Tinker, Echo, Gnome, level 1. Excommunicated Smuggler, Brianna, Thief, level 1. All right, we got one more fight tonight, right? We got 32 people in the infirmary. All right, we got one more fight tonight. So VIP, the Vulgar Unicorn has VIP to Blunder the Barbarian. Oh, okay. A level, barbarians are rare. So we got to get Vulgar Unicorn's Blundar the Barbarian out of here. Vulgar Unicorn has VIP'd him in, but as the way the characters are rolled right now, barbarians are extremely rare. Extremely rare. There are not many barbarians in this game. So, Van Davis said you got your first level 1? Well, congratulations. Congratulations. I am so glad, Van Davis. Oh, Courtney. Oh, Courtney just brought in Dorley. Oh, Courtney super chatted in Dorley. Okay, man, this is going to be an intense fight right here. Excuse me, I just collapsed the VIPs. This is going to be an intense fight because Blundar, a vulgar unicorn, that is a barbarian. Blundar the barbarian. There are not many barbarians in this game. Courtney Dorley Borskitz, 1, 2, survivor, veteran of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blood cages, plus a blood cage MVP. We got to get Dorley out of there. Ben, you fought 1 time as well as Dante, so you're going to be going in. Present and fought 2 times 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so we're going to have our VIPs going in because there's the rules. Then people who fought 1 time, and then we will be randomly drafting from everyone who's fought 2 times. Sable, you fought 3 times, so I believe you'll be out of this one. I hope you're talking to me. I'm going to just assume you're talking to me. Ben says, man, this is a great idea. Well done. Thank you. If you were talking to me about the game, I really appreciate it. I've worked really, really hard on this game, and I really want people to enjoy it. I really want people to enjoy it. So if you were talking to me, thank you very much. All right. Now, wait a minute. What is going on here? We have 23 of 25 likes. I'm not going to go to the holding cage yet, because if you are watching and you've not yet liked this stream, we need 2 more likes in order to get everybody +1 temporary hit points. We need to get to 25 likes to get everybody +1 temporary hit points. And as you've seen, we need every hit point you can possibly get. So if you are watching here and you've not yet hit like, please hit the like button. I'm going to give you like another 60 seconds or something like that, because we need you to get the blessing of the fairy. We need 25 likes on the stream. If we can get to 25 likes on the stream, we get the blessing of the fairy, and then everybody who is in the tavern will get +1 temporary hit points, and we need that. So I'm going to give you a little bit of time. Thank you so much, Echo. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Joe. Thank you. All right. Thank you very much. I got impassioned last night about the initiative system. I know I did. Yeah, I know. We need more temporary HP for Dorley. Come on, please. Please, if you are watching, please hit the like button. Echo says, Echo is seeing 25 likes. Okay, let's see. Oh, no, I'm seeing 25 likes too. Okay, boom. There we go. I am seeing 25. Thank you. All right, we've got 25 likes. Okay, we've gotten 25 likes. So let me go blessing of the fairy. It is time for the fairy to bless everyone. The fairy comes in. That's it. We got to 25 likes. Thank you. So everybody, if you have your name in blue right now, that means that the fairy has blessed you. And by the way, you can tell you have the blessing of the fairy. Your name is in blue, but then also this icon right here. If you're seeing that, that means blessing of the fairy. The fairy's blessing, +1 temporary hit point. That will last for 24 hours or until you go through a fight. Okay, 24 hours or until you go through a fight. So we just got that. So everybody who is going in the tavern, everyone who is going into the cage, will get +1 temporary hit points, which is a big deal. I mean, that is a big deal. All right. Last fight for the night. Last fight for the night. Super VIPs will go in first. Super VIPs are game master designated, and that's my discretion only. If I need to fix something or put somebody in, or if I have a co-host or something like that. But right now there are no super VIPs. VIPs can be put in by super chat, as you can see, super chat, or you can log into zornsdungeon.com and you will get enough iron coins to VIP a character for free the first time that you log into zornsdungeon.com. You'll get a free VIP. And you can also VIP characters on zornsdungeon.com if you buy iron coins. After that, if you are new to the cage, if you have never fought before, then you're going to be in. Anybody who is new to the cage, you are first. You're going to be in. You will have never fought before. You will be in. Then anybody who is present, who has not yet fought, and present is defined by have you said something in the chat within the last 35 minutes, okay? If you said something in the last 35 minutes, you are marked as present, but anybody who is present and fought, 2 times will be behind anybody who is present and fought 1 time, who will be behind anybody who is present and fought 0 times, okay? So trying to make sure that everybody has that amount of time. All right, let's go. Let's draft the party. If you are a channel member, I really appreciate that. You will get priority at least once a month in your bracket to make sure that you get to fight. The Vulgar Unicorn, Blundar the Barbarian, you are in. Level 1 Barbarian, a rare character. I really want Blundar the Barbarian to get out of here, because with this rare character, this is the Barbarian is only there in 1 out of 354 spawns. We've got to get the Barbarian out of there. Then also, we've got to get Dorley out of here. Dorley is a level 1 knight. Dorley has been through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cages and is an MVP of a cage. MVP on August 18th. Dorley. We got to get the level 1 knight out of there. We've got to. Van Davis, Carl Winslow II, level 1 fighter. All right, you are in. Dante, a blundering antiquarian's assistant, level 1 mage, veteran of 2 cages, you are in. Ben Davignon, an earnest gnome apprentice illusionist, uncommon character, ill-starred, was that bottom 12% of ability scores, you are in. Charles, a bleary-eyed blacksmith, level 0, you are in. Zero Almighty, a witless antiquarian's assistant, level 1 mage, you are in. Dave No F's, a floundering sextant, level 0, you are in. Brianna Reynolds, a tarnished flagellant, you are in, level 0. John Blindley Bottleby, victor of 2 cages, so veteran of 2 cages, August 21st. Isn't today the 21st? Yes. Oh, okay. Victor of today's cage and July 28th. You are in. You're level 1 gnome. Maurice, a weary wizard's apprentice, level 0, you are in. Echo, a bumbling halfling farmer, you are in. Ben says I'm ill-starred. Oh, you are, yes. You are in the bottom 2%, bottom 12% of ability scores. All of the ability scores are 3d6 straight down. Oh, Van Davis sent in a $2 to buff Carl Winslow for a +2 temporary hit points. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Van Davis. Sable then also came in to buff $2 to Blundar. Buffed Blundar. Okay, Sable buffed Blundar. People have asked me, do I have to be in the holding cell in order to buff people? And no, you don't. If you want to give a gift to somebody, you can totally do a super chat. Just do the super chat and write in their write in the dog tag. Just do a super chat and write in their dog tag. You do not have to be in the blood cage. So if you want to give somebody a gift, if you want to buff them, you do not have to be in the blood cage. Just do a super chat, type in their dog tag, and you'll give them their gift. So thank you very much, Sable. Sable's helping out Blundar the Barbarian. And Van Davis has also gone in for +2. Okay, so this is it's half and half. Look at this. We have 6 level 0 characters in this cage. We have 6 level 1 characters in this cage, so an average level of 0.5. We have 59 hit points in this cage, in this party. I mean, that's pretty reasonable. That's pretty reasonable for an average HP of 5. So that seems pretty reasonable. John Bindle, 71% chance of getting out. Zero Almighty Witless Antiquarian's assistant, 72% chance of getting out. Charles, the bleary-eyed mountebank, 30% chance of getting out. Courtney, 75. So that's good. And Vulgar Unicorn, 86% chance of getting out. All right. Final cage for the night. Final cage for the night. Let's fight. Let's fight. Let's fight. Let's go. You do not have to issue commands to your characters. I guess I should say this one more time. You do not have to issue commands to your characters because you will fight automatically on balanced offense, defense, and movement. But if you want to override that, that's when you send in a combat command. You can send in bang AOA. Bang AOA means all-out attack. That increases your attack power. Shields and dodge become useless. AOA still does respect engagement lock. So if you are in melee with a particular character, you will attack the character you are in melee with. Optionally, you may add coordinates to move to that particular location first, but if a monster is standing in that square, then that monster will become that the target. For instance, bang AOA D4. If you put in bang AOA D4, there's no monster at D4. You will move to that location. If there is a monster in D4, that will be your target. Bang move, bang M. Hit bang M. Moves your character to the coordinates. You must have coordinates with the bang M command because you are specifically saying, I want to move to that location. Bang M space coordinates. Moves your character to that coordinate, and that order will persist until you arrive. So if you don't make it there in turn number 1, you will persist until turn number 2, still trying to get there. Your character, however, will still receive actions as normal, such as attacks and defenses, as you attempt to move to that space. Bang AOD is all-out defense. You will sacrifice movement and attacks for additional defensive power. Bang hold the line. Characters will not move, but they will attack monsters within range. If no action is taken on your turn and your character is later attacked, you will be treated as if you are on bang AOD. Bang run. That means retreat. Improves the chances of breaking enemy engagement lock, but if the break fails, then you will defend as if you are on AOD, and you will try to run again next turn if you do not issue new orders. Optionally, you may add coordinates to attempt to retreat toward that square. Bang fight. That cancels all previous orders. Bang fight returns you to fight as default, cancels all previous orders, and returns the character to autoplay mode. Optionally, you may add coordinates, bang fight space D4, for example. Your character will move to that location if the square is empty, or will attack the monster in that square until it is dead. All right. Your character will accept the last order given. Send as many orders as you want in. Your character will accept the last order, however, that you give, and execute it at the start of its next turn. Orders stand until you give a new one. Has anyone noticed that the orders are more responsive? Has anyone noticed that? I mean, maybe you haven't. I don't know. But the orders, at least theoretically, should be more responsive. I'm going to do an analysis of that quantitatively when this ends, because for the past week, I have been looking at, Sable Phoenix says yes. Okay. And Courtney says yes, too. So I should, Brianna says yes, they are. Okay, well, that's good. Okay, well, thank you. Okay, I'm glad that's the case. I'm going to look at that statistically because I have a way to quantify the commands and their responsiveness at the end. So I really am very interested in looking at what that is at the end. But I'm glad that you guys are feeling that, and I will measure it at the end of tonight. Ben says, what's the command for spells? I don't have command for spells. So, Ben, right now, there is no commands for spells. I know that people want them. If you go bang AOA or bang fight and you designate and you are a ranged character with spells, then you're going to attack with that spell. But I don't have a way right now for you to specify, I want to use magic missile or flame bolt. Right now, man, that's going to get complicated. I mean, I want it for you, but man, that's going to get complicated. And how do I explain that? So right now, there's no way for you to specifically designate a spell. We're going to have to think about that. All right, let's go. Open the cage. Okay, Dave, front line. Floundering Sexton, front line. Van Davis, front line. Courtney, Dorley Borskets, front line. Vulgar Unicorn, Blundar the Barbarian, front line. Echo Amberstun, second line. Charles, Bleary-Eyed Mountebank, second line. Right now, we are now open for combat commands. You can take a look at this and you can open combat commands. Ben, Ernest Gnome Apprentice Illusionist, second line. John, NJDM, Bindley, Bindle Botley, second line. Third line, Brianna Reynolds, a Tarnished Flagellant. Zero Almighty, a Witless Antiquarian's Assistant. Dante, a Blundering Antiquarian's Assistant. Then Mauricio, a Weary Wizard's Apprentice. There you go. All right, let's fight. Weary Wizard's Apprentice looking at White Ape. Going to be able to cast Ray of Frost at White Ape. White Ape takes 3 points of damage, moderate cold wound. So nice job, Mauricio. Stepped up and put some damage on the White Ape. We only have 14 monsters in White Ape and one White Ape. White Ape next, moving up. Probably going to throw a boulder. Yes, throwing a boulder against Carl. Evaded. Nice job. Nice job. Van Davis's Carl Winslow evades the boulder of the White Ape. Nice job. Nice job. Cave Imp targets Floundering Sexton. Cave Imp comes up to Floundering Sexton. 3 points of damage, 2 turned aside, 1 taken as injury. Goblin moves toward Carl. Hit lands, swallowed by Protective Ward. 1 temporary HP spent only. Okay, Cave Imp now targets Floundering Sexton. Okay, Cave Imp bleeds for 3 points of bleeds Floundering Sexton for 3 points of damage. Okay, we have lots of people coming in. Let's see, Goblin now moving toward Blundar. Oh my God, critical hit. Blundar the Barbarian takes 7 damage, 3 turned aside, 4 taken as injury, moderate piercing wound. Dorley Borskets goes AOD. Okay, going all out defense right there. Goblin Runt also comes up to Blundar the Barbarian. Comes in on the flank. 2 points of damage. Only, man, we are forming a battle line at the edge of Zone 1. Tarnished Flagellant goes bang fight to D1. Wants to attack this Cave Imp. 2 points of damage, a moderate bludgeoning wound. Okay, Tarnished Flagellant goes Cave Imp. Van Davis, Carl going into Goblin number 1. 5 points of damage, puts down Goblin number 1. Kobold Crawler now looking at Dorley Borskets. Kobold Crawler probably going to throw at Dorley Borskets. Dorley Borskets absorbs a Fated Blessing, 1 temporary hit point. Goblin targets Carl. Goblin number 3 comes into Van Davis. 1 temporary hit point spent only. Ernest Gnome Apprentice. This is Ben going AOA. Ben is going AOA, looking at this goblin over here, firing at the goblin. Poison spray. Goblin's hit for 3 points of damage, moderate poison wound. Nice job, Ben. The Ernest Gnome Apprentice Illusionist puts down Goblin number 3. Kobold Crawler targets Floundering Sexton. Kobold Crawler throws into the Floundering Sexton. 1 point of damage. Uh-oh. Dave, oh my God. Floundering Sexton took it through the throat and died. I am sorry, Dave. The Floundering Sexton has perished. I am sorry, Dave. Bleary-Eyed Mountebank, this is Charles looking at Cave Imp, coming up with a dagger, 2 points of damage, a minor slashing wound. Gremlin Targets Carl Winslow. Gremlin coming up to Carl. Gremlin comes up to Carl. 2 points of damage, minor slashing wound. Bumbling Halfling Farmer. This is Echo going AOA. The Halfling Farmer is going AOA and sees this white ape over there, the underdog coming into the white ape. Cut him down with a short spear. 6 points of damage. Puts the short spear right up through his rib cage. Nice job, Echo. Bumbling Halfling Farmer puts down that white ape. Zorn readies the archers. A volley is incoming. Slimeling targets Bumbling Halfling. Comes up to Echo. Tries to slap him around. 1 stamina spent. 1 only. No wounds. Okay, Blundar the Barbarian goes hold. Okay, but he can attack on a hold order to this Goblin Runt number 2. 3 points of damage. Puts him down to -1. Nice job with a short spear. Blundar the Barbarian, you put him down. Nice job. Arrow Storm. Zorn looses the volley. We have 5 arrows that are coming in. Arrows coming in. A Tarnished Flagellant. Brianna. A Tarnished Flagellant takes 3 damage, 1 turned aside, 2 taken as injury, minor piercing wound. An Earnest Gnome Apprentice Illusionist takes 4 damage, 1 turned aside, 3 taken as injury. Oh, and Ben, I'm sorry, your Earnest Gnome Apprentice Illusionist has perished and is dead. Blundar the Barbarian, 1 point of damage to Blundar the Barbarian, a minor piercing wound. Carl Winslow II, this is Van Davis, 4 points of damage. Oh, by all rights, Carl Winslow should be down, but they are not. Carl Winslow of Van Davis is still standing, reeling right there. Dorley Borskitz takes 2 points of damage, a minor piercing wound. All right, Zorn signals to ready the portcullis. Goblins are standing by on the crank. We are 10 PCs to 8 monsters. Kobold Crawler looking at Dorley. Is Kobold Crawler going to be able to throw at Dorley? Yes. Kobold Crawler number 3 throws at Dorley, pierced for 1 point of damage, a minor piercing wound. Keep it up, Dorley. You got to stay up, Dorley. You got to stay up. Blundering Antiquarian's Assistant goes a hold order, goes hold. Witless Antiquarian's Assistant goes fight. He takes a fight command. Looking at Slimeling on the hunt. Zero Almighty throws with Acid Splash into Slimeling. 1 point of damage only. Goblin Runt now targets Bumbling Halfling. Goblin Runt targets Bumbling Halfling. Reads the halfling reads the swing and rides it through. 1 stamina only, unhurt. Okay, so Bindle Bottleby is going AOA, looking at this goblin down here, going at all-out attack into goblin number 2. 5 points of damage, major slashing wound. Drops goblin number 2. Nice job, John. That is Bindle. Nice job. Portcullis is opening. Ratkin Gore Strider with a Ratkin Gore Child is coming in behind our lines. Ratkin Gore Child comes up to Bleary-Eyed Mountebank. Ratkin Gore Child coming into Charles. Moves with some footwork right there. 1 stamina point spent only. No actual damage. Ratkin Gore Child now comes up to Witless Antiquarian's Assistant. Oh! Critical hit. 8 damage. 1 turned aside. 7 taken as injury. 0 Almighty. I'm sorry. Your Witless Antiquarian's Assistant has perished. I am sorry. I am sorry. A Witless and F in the chat, everybody. F in the chat. F in the chat for 0 Almighty's level 1 mage. 7 point tremendous slashing wound from the Ratkin Gore Child dropped him. I am sorry. F in the chat. Ratkin Mongrel targets Bumbling Halfling. Ratkin Mongrel comes up to Bumbling Halfling of Echo Amberstern. 1 point of damage only. Down to only 4 of 5. Echo down to 4 of 5. Nice work. Round 2. Initiative deck is reshuffled. Is this only round 2? This is round 2. Ratkin Mongrel comes up to Bumbling Halfling's Farmer, comes up to attack, lays on a thrust of 3 points of damage with a bite in the flank. Okay, we need to draw well. It's 9 PCs to 9 monsters. Goblin Runt targets Bumbling Halfling's Farmer. Goblin Runt coming in, 4 points of damage. I am sorry, Echo. Bumbling Halfling Farmer, Echo, you have dropped. Gremlin targets Carl. Gremlin comes into Carl, slashed for 1 point of damage, a minor slashing wound. Carl, Van Davis, you are down but not dead. Down but not dead. Can we get Van Davis out of here? We need that to happen. Bleary-eyed Mountebank goes AOD. Is going to stand on AOD. Blundering Antiquarian's assistant Dante goes into Ratkin Gorechild. 6 points of damage, major bludgeoning wound right there. Nice job, Dante. Dante's Blundering Antiquarian's assistant puts down Ratkin Gorechild with the staff. Nice job right there. Kobold Crawler targets a Tarnished Flagellant. So Kobold Crawler number 3 is throwing, it seems, with a dart into the rear of Brianna Reynolds' Tarnished Flagellant. 2 points of damage. That could have been much, 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 much worse. Okay, Kobold Crawler targets Dorley. Oh my God, Kobold's going into Dorley, who is on an AOD. No, on a run. Dorley Borskets, 1 point of damage, minor piercing wound only. Slimeling now looks at Bindle. Slimeling comes down to Bindle. This is John. Bites into a shielding blessing. No flesh. 1 temporary hit point lost, and that is it. Okay, nice job. Bindle Bottleby looking at Slimeling. Bindle Bottleby comes into Slimeling. 4 points of damage. Nice job. Some resistance there, but with a long knife, Slimeling is put down. Bindle opens up that Slimeling, and the slime runs all over the cage. Okay. Kobold Crawler number 2 is about to shoot into Mountebank's flank. This is the Bleary-eyed Mountebank of Charles. 1 point of damage only, minor piercing wound. 7 PCs to 7 monsters with 1 PC laying on the floor. It is Ratkin Gorstrider's turn. Ratkin Gorstrider comes up to Charles. 2 points of damage, a minor slashing wound. Charles is now there with 1 of 4. Let's get Charles out of there. We really should. Blundar the Barbarian going fight. Blundar is accepting a fight order and looking at this gremlin up here. Retargets to Kobold Crawler, I believe. Yes, retargets Kobold Crawler. 5 points of damage with a short spear into Kobold Crawler. Kobold Crawler number 1 drops. Tarnished Flagellant. This is Brianna. Targets Kobold Crawler. 1 point of damage, minor bludgeoning wound. Weary Wizard's Apprentice. This is Maurice looking at Kobold Crawler, going for a Ray of Frost into Kobold Crawler number 3. Kobold Crawler takes 2 points of damage. Round 3, initiative deck is reshuffled. We're at the top of round 3. Blundar, put something down. Do what you do as a barbarian. Put it down. Going into Goblin Runt number 1. Just put it down. 6 points of damage. Nice job. The Goblin Runt hits the stone and does not rise. Nice job. Fell-handed. Blundar has done 3 kills in a row. Nice job, Blundar. Bleary-eyed Mountebank going AOA. Nice job with the AOA. Who is the... Oh, and his engagement locked with the Gorstrider, where he probably wants to go anyway. 6 points of damage. Ratkin Gorstrider goes to 2 of 8. I mean, let's put that down. Now it's Kobold Crawler's turn. Goes to the Flagellant. 1 point of damage only. Whoa, so Brianna, your tarnished flagellant is still hanging on right there. Gremlin targets a bleary-eyed mountebank in the rear, coming into the rear of the bleary-eyed mountebank. Oh my God, critical. Mountebank bleeds for 4 points of damage, moderate slashing wound. Gremlin came in on your rear. I am sorry, Charles. That's the life of a level 0 character. Please bang spawn again. Slain. I am sorry. Slain right there. 6 PCs to 4 monsters. Blundering Antiquarian's assistant. This is Dante looking at Ratkin Gorstrider, throwing acid splash into the Gorstrider. 4-point moderate acid wound. That does drop Ratkin Gorstrider. Nice job, Dante. Nice job, Dante. Ratkin Mongrel targets Tarnished Flagellant. Ratkin Mongrel goes all-out attack gives a puncture wound of 3 points of damage. Brianna Reynolds, you have fallen, but you are not dead. You have fallen to the stone, but you are not dead yet. Okay, 5 PCs to 3 monsters. Come on, Bindle. So Bindle targets Gremlin. Come on. Oh, throwing a sling stone at Goblin. Bindle whirls the sling stone. 2 points of damage to the Gremlin. Nice job. Fell-handed. Nice job, Bindle. Bindle has dropped 3 in a row. Weary Wizard's Apprentice looking at Kobold Crawler. Put him down. Weary Wizard's Apprentice looks at Ray of Frost. Shoots Ray of Frost into Kobold Crawler. 1 point of damage, a minor cold wound. Kobold Crawler drops. Nice job, Mauricio. Nice job. We got 5 PCs up, 2 laying on the floor, 1 monster up. Dorley's going AOA. Dorley is going AOA toward Ratkin Mongrel. Dorley's going AOA. 7 points of damage. Nice job, Dorley. Just what you should have done. Dorley comes up with an arming sword and puts a 7-point tremendous wound on the Ratkin Mongrel. Opens it up, and it is dead. Nice job, Dorley. 11 XP to everyone who survived. 5 fell. They get 5 XP each, but everyone who survived gets 11 XP. Nice job, nice job, nice job, everyone. Crowd throws coppers to their face. Dorley gets 55 coppers. A blundering antiquarian's assistant, 46. Blundar gets 27. Bindle, 26. A weary wizard's apprentice, 25. 179 coppers are thrown to everyone, are thrown to the PC group. Everybody who is alive and standing gets some. So there you go. Nice job, everyone. So yes, we have done well right there. Let's go to the winch room. Let's turn the winch. Everybody who survived gets a blood drop. Dante says much better than last night. We had a TPK last night. Goblin medics 10 to wound. +1, another +1. Nice job. Oh, lots of help. Van Davis, you got lots of help right there. Blundar the Barbarian, Volgar, a little bit of help right there. A little bit of more help. Okay, all right. So Dorley Borskit's a little bit of help, +1 HP. +1 HP. All right. The goblins roll for every wound that you've got. They got like a 50-50 shot. Weary Wizard's Apprentice Mauricio, you get a level 1 wizard. Nice job. Learned light. You made it. Okay. Tarnished Flagellant, Brianna, Cleric, level 1. Nice job. You made it. Brianna, Tarnished Flagellant, level 1. All right, let's sort and dismiss. Hey, Shaky. Shaky says, "Hey Heath, I finally caught live." Yeah, this was our last fight for the night. But Shaky says, "Hey Heath, I finally caught it live. Hope all is well." I hope all is well with you as well. Thank you so much for showing up and making it live. Thank you so much. It is great to see you here. Thank you so much, Shaky. All right, the infirmary. How many characters have we got in the infirmary? Is this Friday? I don't even know. I think today's Friday. Today's Friday, right? So we have in the infirmary, we have 35 characters in the infirmary trying to heal. The stable, we have 338 characters in the stable right here. And then, all right, so let's go to the leaderboard. Let's go to the leaderboard and let's see if anything changed over here. Whoop. There we go. With the leaderboard, most kills. So who changed on the top 25 most kills? Dorley Borsket's got a kill tonight. Went up to number 9 with a total of 15 kills. Nice job, Dorley. All right, that's the only change there. Cage MVPs. Okay, did we have any MVPs tonight? I don't think we did. Okay, Boss Slayer. Anybody who increased the bosses, we're calling the bosses, the major monsters, or the white apes, or anything that comes through the blood cage, through the portcullis, excuse me. Yes, blundering antiquarian's assistant Dante. You have 3 major monsters slain. You are now at 16th. You are now tied at number 16th, having killed 3. So nice job right there. Damage dealer. So who has dealt the most damage, like total in their career? Dorley Borskets dealt 7 points of damage tonight, so moves up 2 slots, having dealt 94 points of damage. She is now number 13. Oh, and Toto, who has unfortunately perished, did 1 point of damage tonight, 72 at 21. So it ties Toto at 21. Okay, most bruised. Did anybody get most bruised tonight? Oh, yeah, Rarely Nicely of Courtney. Courtney's Rarely Nicely has taken 27 points of damage across Rarely Nicely's career. That's +1, moving Rarely Nicely up 4. That's not really one that you want to be on the top list of, but, hey. So Rarely Nicely is now tied at the 13th place for most damage taken. Biggest hit. I don't think we had the biggest hit tonight. Yeah, you got to do at least 15 points of damage to get biggest hit. Most HP and most XP, excuse me. Most XP. Who has the most experience? Oh, Dorley Borskets has 78 experience points, so shows up at number 18 for the first time tonight. Wealthiest. Dorley Borskets. Oh, Dorley. Dorley is our wealthiest character right now. Dorley got 55 coins tonight, copper coins tonight. Dorley has 308 coppers. So Dorley is our wealthiest character right now. Dorley sits at number 1. Nice job, Courtney. You are the wealthiest character. Lutetia got 36 coppers tonight. She's got 164 coppers, moving up 5 slots, tied at, no, not tied, but just sitting at number 7. Ian the Black has 154 coppers, showing up for the first time on the top 25. Nice job, Ian the Black. You're sitting at number 8. Portia has got 151 coppers tonight. That is Access Your Inner Light at number 10. Tied also with Rarely Nicely, who has 151 coppers as well, moving up 45 coppers, 5 slots, tied at number 10. Blundering Antiquarian's assistant got 46 coppers today, 143 total coppers, up 3 slots to 13. Okay, we got some wealthy characters. We got to get some stuff for you to buy with that. We got to get some stuff for you guys to buy with that. Most blood drops. Oh, Dorley Borskets. Dorley Borskets has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blood drops. Blood drops means you've survived a blood cage. Dorley Borskets has survived 8 and is now tied at number 5. Got 1 tonight, moved up 3. 8 total. Yeah, over there. I don't know why I had to count that because it tells me that over there. Dorley Borskets has 8. And is sitting tied at number 5. Nice job, Dorley Borskets. Oh, very nicely. Also, Courtney has 7, tied at number 9 as a result of that, because got 1. All right. Best defense. Who has had the best defense? Oh, let's see. Okay, so Ben Davignon, played by Ben Davignon, down here at the number, is new on the top 25, tied at number 24, showing up with 6 perfect defenses. Nice job. Fell-handed. Anybody showing up? No, we had some fell-handed nights, but you got to do some fell-handed work in order to get up on the leaderboard. Meat Shield has been fell-handed 5 times in a row. I mean, that's a hero right there. All right, show wrap up. The Reckoning, 48 kills tonight, 11 characters fell. There's one new champion. There were 241 points of damage dealt tonight. Our new champion, richest in purse, this is Dorley Borskitz of Courtney, dethroned Cedric Blackhand of Sable Phoenix, now has 308 copper coins. The Fallen, here, let's get F to everybody. F to everybody who has fallen. F in the chat. Who fell tonight? Toto, Joel Olstein, Thurman Merman, Rumblebee, a Cobbled Town Watchman, a Splintered Cultist, a Black-Eyed Mountebank, a Threadbare Porter, a Guarded Dwarf Miner, a Disowned Cultist, a Floundering Porter, a Floundering Porter. Here's to you. Here's to everyone who fell tonight. Warriors of the Night, Sir Weeble of Wobble, 3 kills. That's Echo. Blundar the Barbarian, 3 kills. That's Vulgar Unicorn. Ben Davignon, 3 kills. Bindle, that's John, 3 kills. Carl Winslow, 2 kills. Bindle Bottleby, 16 points of damage tonight. Nice job, Bindle. That's John, 16 points of damage. Sir Wibble of Wobble, 14 points of damage tonight. Blundar the Barbarian, that's Vulgar Unicorn, 14 points of damage. Hans Lolo Van Davis had done 14 points of damage tonight. Courtney, rarely nicely, 13 points of damage. Skip over that. I still got to fix that because it's not right. But the blow of the night goes to Oberon. That's Proud Star, who did a critical hit with a spear, with a short spear, into a gremlin for 12 points of damage. Oberon, there you go. Proud Star, you got blow of the night. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it played better. I hope it played more responsive. I'm going to check the latency logs on this game, but I hope that tonight, and I hope it improved. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you had a lot of fun. I hope that you had fun. I had fun. Thank you so much for playing with me tonight. Thank you so much. This is Friday night, as people are reminding me. So we will play again on Monday. Have a wonderful weekend. Please go to the table, play with friends and family at the table this weekend. Please go play games. Enjoy yourself. Go forth, be creative, and be constructive. I will see you again Monday night for Zorn's Dungeon. Thank you all. Thank you all. I had a fantastic time. Thank you for playing with me.